There's a conversation technique that's more than 2,000 years old, and it's almost unfair how well it works. It can guide a person who completely disagrees with you to step-by-step move closer to your conclusion, and often feel like they arrived there themselves. An ancient Greek philosopher built his reputation around it, and the entire method rests on one simple rule: never let the other person say one small word at the beginning of the conversation. That word is no. Most people think persuasion starts with presenting better arguments. It doesn't, can't. It starts with momentum. The technique is surprisingly simple. Instead of beginning with disagreement, you begin with agreement. You ask questions the other person can honestly answer yes to, questions built around shared goals, shared values, shared facts, things you already know, both of you believe. Yes, yes, yes. Each answer creates a little more forward motion, and before long, the person is moving in the direction of your idea without ever feeling pushed. Because here's what happens when someone says no. They're not just rejecting a suggestion. They're committing themselves to a position. Their pride becomes attached to it. Their identity becomes attached to it. And once that happens, changing course becomes difficult. Even when the evidence is strong, even when they secretly suspect they're mistaken. The word no creates a wall. The word yes opens a door. A skilled communicator understands this and works hard to avoid triggering that first wall. There's a fascinating example from a bank. A man wanted to open an account but refused to complete part of the paperwork. He would not provide the name of a next of kin, and the more the staff pressed him, the more resistant he became. Most people would have escalated. They would have said, "You have to fill it out," or "It's required." That approach creates a struggle. Instead, a teller chose a different path. She began asking questions. If something happened to you, would you want your money to reach the right person without unnecessary delays? Yes. And if we had that information, we could make sure your wishes were carried out properly? Yes. Now the conversation had changed. The man wasn't defending himself anymore. He was agreeing with his own goals. A few moments later, he filled out the form completely, and he ended up opening additional accounts as well. No pressure, no argument, just a series of honest agreements. The same principle appears in sales, leadership, and everyday life. One salesman met an engineer who believed a set of motors was running dangerously hot. The engineer was convinced they couldn't be trusted. Most salespeople would have immediately argued. Instead, the salesman agreed. If they're truly running that hot, you absolutely shouldn't buy anymore. The engineer agreed. Then came another question, and another. Step by step, they explored what too hot actually meant, together, not as opponents, as collaborators. Eventually, the engineer realized the motors were operating exactly as designed. The conclusion felt natural because nobody had forced it on him. He arrived there himself, and he placed the order. But here's the important part. This isn't about manipulation. People can sense manipulation. They resist it immediately. The yeses have to be real. You must begin with genuine common ground, real shared interests, real agreements. The goal isn't to trap someone. The goal is to remind both of you how much common ground already exists. Because most arguments don't fail because of the disagreement. They fail because of how they begin. Start with the difference and people become defensive. Start with what you share and people become receptive. That's the real secret. The next time you need to persuade someone, don't begin with the gap between you. Begin with the ground beneath both of you. Find the first honest yes, then the next, then the next. Build momentum before you ever discuss the disagreement. Because once people start moving in a direction, they tend to keep moving, and you'll be amazed how much shorter the journey becomes when it begins with agreement instead of resistance.